This
I was thinking
conference
like,
will now
That's
be
okay.
recorded.
It's okay.
let's give 1 or 2 more minutes to join others and then we can get started. Okay, I think we have everyone. Kanchana is there, Mohit, Nutan, and Tejasri. Okay, let's get started. Let me share my screen and we can get started on this. Okay, so let me recap on what we discussed in yesterday's session. So we were discussing on the product. There are different product rules, right? So we were discussing on the product rules, if I'm not wrong. We discussed validation and alert product rule, and we created one of the product rule there, and we have shown that. Sorry, let me open all. So this is the demo alert product will be created with the uh, you are wrong message, right? And we created this with the scope product and evaluation event as always. So there were 3-4 days gap. So I remember like this is what we completed: error conditions, configuration rules, and everything for this particular, right? And we tested this for alert as well as validation rule. That's right. And we are going to start with selection product rule today. Is it correct? Can you please confirm? I mean, like it's 100%. I'm sure that we completed validation alert, and we are going to start with the validation rules. Okay. Thanks, Nathan. Okay. Yeah. So as we discussed, right? So there are different product rules. Why we have product rules? The concept of product rule is like we will write some logic in the backend whenever you are selecting some products on the code line editor screen or product selection screen. There should be some automation in place. There should be some triggers, or someone should judge that you are doing your job correctly or not, right? Something like that. So as a sales rep, whatever you are selecting, it's right or not. This product combination is right, or whatever the discounts you are giving is right, or these are multiple things, right? So all these things we can manage in the backend. So traditional, if you think on the traditional way, when Salesforce CPQ was not there, sales rep are doing these jobs by checking in Excel, like what is the product, what is the dependency between that, and what is the different combination for that, right? Which product should be hidden if I selected US country, which product should be removed if I selected India country. So this combination was in Excel itself. But right now, as a CPQ or Salesforce CPQ solution, or Salesforce CPQ developer, you need to provide some solution where they don't need to add more manual work. They should do their job by selecting product. They don't need to care about that. That's the reason we are discussing product rule. So we discuss alert and validation, where we are actually stopping based on some condition. We are actually stopping the end customer for selection of that particular product. So what is the, we discuss these two things, but selection product rule is something different. Selection means we are not stopping, but I'm helping you to select the product, right? So selection product rule, it means based on what you are selecting there, right? Based on that, we will be giving, for example, you selected shipping country as US, right? We develop that functionality, right? So if you go to the code, if I open this particular code, if I go to the edit lines, okay, and here if I select any product, right? For example, as part of our session, we created a mechanical bundle. So let's check on that. So here we can see we created this shipping country, right? So if I selected US, it will only show me the products which are eligible for that. For example, this product should be hidden in that case, or this product should be selected in that case. So how you will do that, right? So these things, selection process, or how your product should be visible and hidden, those action can be achieved with the help of product rules. So let me scroll down. We discuss product action. So we are on the selection product rule. Mohit, you are not able to hear? Others, are you able to hear me?
Yes, audible now.
Okay, okay, thanks. So I was saying, like, for selection rule, you need to yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Sorry for disturbance actually. So selection rule is something you can set up your product rules to automatically add, remove, hide, enable, and disable options in a bundle. So what it means, you can give the functionality, you can write the rules in such a way that those products should be sellable, added, or removed, or hidden based on some combination, right? So for example, hide XYZ product if sales rep selected US as shipping country, right? So these things you can achieve with the help of selection rule. So we discussed, like, while we are creating configuration attribute, at that time we discussed, like, we need to write some logic in the backend, right? So what we need to write, we need to write selection rule for that in the backend of that particular configuration attribute. So you need to create selection product rule, and then you need to create error condition which will check for configuration attribute. So whatever your configuration attribute, US or India, based on that, it will create product action to hide these particular products, right? And assign this rule to the bundle by creating configuration rule. So these are the different steps we need to create. So let me explain you these steps. So let's say, like, if I go to the product rules, I already created one. Let me show you all. If there is any other product is active, let me disable that first, because it will create multiple issues. Okay, so items are not selected. Let me refresh. Let me do this one by one. Let me save that. This is just whatever we created alert and everything. I just want to disable that because it will create, uh, it will ask every time to do these things. You know. So if I go to this, so what is this selection product rule? Only the change is, like, whatever we discuss all these fields, right? Only the change is you need to select selection type here. All validation alert we discussed. So only the thing is selection, and then we will be going to the filter product rule as well, that we can discuss later on as well. So only the thing is, I'm discussing selection product. I will active this, and all these things, like, you can give your name, conditions we discuss, all means and, any means or, custom means a, 1 and 2 and 3. So scope is like product means product configuration, code means your code line editor. So you can give evaluation order, and you can provide your load, save, and edit when you want to actually run this particular product. So we discussed this couple of fields except this lookup field. So lookup field I will be going to discuss as part of next 10 or 15 minutes. I will discuss those. So let me complete this. So I created just a condition, and what is my error condition? My error condition should check for your configuration attribute, right? So what I need to check, your configuration attribute is US, then I want to hide one product, for example, CAD basic package. Let's take example, right? If I selected US, I am not selling CAD basic package to a US country, right? So what you need to do, you need to go create error condition In the error condition, you have different things. So if you remember, as part of validation and alert rule, I discussed all these tested object, tested field, right? So in the tested object, you can check quote level field as well as quote line level field, quote line group level field, product option, configuration attribute, and upgraded asset. These are the different objects which you can use to check your condition. Like for example, quote, right? If I selected quote, that means from quote, any field from quote object, for example, payment term, I think we discussed last time. Quote's payment term equals to something. You can write that term here. If it is matching, then and then your product will run. Right now, what I'm trying to say, as we committed, we need to add some logic behind this shipping country. Whenever you are selecting US or India, it should hide CAD basic package. If I selected US, if I selected India here, it will hide another product, right? So these types of combination, how you can achieve? So you need to select configuration attribute, because I am going to test this configuration attribute, and this configuration attribute tested field is shipping country, right? So I'm on configuration attribute, my field is shipping country. That's the reason I'm checking shipping country and equals to value US. So if I'm just checking US, what will happen if I selected US? So I will save this record. This is my error condition actually. Whenever you are selecting US, your selection product rule will run, right? And what it will do, what is the action for that? I want to hide or remove one product from here. For example, SLM basic package. I want to hide this particular package, or CAD basic package. So let's take example. If I selected US, I want to hide this CAD basic package, or you cannot select this particular thing. You need want to disable these things, right? This is saying excludes or these things. Okay. So maybe I want to just disable one more thing here, because if you remember, like option constraint, we discussed this, right? That's the reason it's saying exclude SLM, and here it's saying exclude CAD basic package. So let me disable that setting as well. In mechanical bundle, we have set up option constraint. Let me disable that just to. Okay, this one. Let me disable that just to have proper testing there for product rule. Okay, so what I will do, I created error, but only the thing is, error condition is like your configuration attribute shipping country equal to US. What you want to do, you want to disable CAD basic package, right? It's enabled now because I'm going to select that. So how you will disable that? You need to write action. That's the only step which you are doing as compared to your alert and validation product rule. Alert and validation, you are just giving condition, and that's it. You are giving the message, that's it. But in selection, you don't want to give the message. In that case, you want to take some actions. If it is US, I want to disable, so you need to write action. So if you go to the action automatically comes with the which rule you are creating action and what is the type of the action, what action you want to do. You want to add product, you want to remove product, you want to enable product, disable product, or enable adding product, or disable and remove product, or show or hide, show and hide and remove, default filter and option filter. These two things we will discuss later, but at least the combination of these. For example, if I selected disable and I'm saying what is the product name, for example, CAD basic package, right? So I want to disable that package, so you need to give the product name here, CAD basic package, right? So if I'm saying if my error condition match, that is US, just disable this checkbox. If I am selecting, it should be disabled. So if I save that, right, that is the product action I am doing, like I want to disable that. Now if I go to the related list, if I go to the configuration rule, the last step is like, this is same steps for all product rules: alert, validation, filter, or selection. All the product rule, you need to assign that particular rule to their specific bundle, right? So I'm going to assign this to the mechanical bundle because it was assigned to Norton antivirus bundle as part of another batch. So I will assign this to the mechanical bundle now. That's the only single step you need to follow. So let me repeat. So you created selection product rule with type, all other fields are similar. Then you created error condition, which will check for the configuration attribute shipping country equals to US. And then you created actions, which will actually disable the CD CAD basic package if you selected US country. So let's test that. Let me cancel. If I go and add mechanical bundle, okay. So right now, Okay, right now I can select both the bundles here, both the products, sorry, right? If I selected US, my expectation is this product should be disabled. I cannot select this product, so this particular checkbox should be disabled, right? So if I selected US, I'm expecting this thing, but let's see. Okay, that's good. So this is totally disabled. So this is how you are going, you cannot enable this now, right? But if it is checked, then maybe your product is required. That's the reason it's selected. So if you go to the product, if you go to the mechanical bundle, if you go to the option, right? So what is the product name? CAD basic package, right? So this is my product name. It's automatically selected and disabled as well. So CAD basic package, if I selected this option, so option level, I don't see it's required CAD basic package. Why it is checked then? What is the another thing? Maybe feature. On feature, if you have minimum options as something, minimum option is 1, I will say it's 0, because I don't want minimum options to be there. Minimum options once means at least something should be selected. Okay, so let me cancel this. Let me go back to minimum option should be selected. 0 will not. So let me check this now, because it is automatically checked. I mean, let me save this. I just want to check like too few options selected in maintenance. Okay. Okay, so if I selected mechanical, SLM, CAD, and these products are available. Let me go back and add products, because I don't want to add that product. It's automatically selected and disabled is the thing. Uh, let me. Okay, it was checked. That's the reason. Sorry, it was my mistake. So if you selected US, automatically this is disabled, right? So what we did last time, that's the mistake actually. It's not like our. It's like is the training. If we selected a mechanical bundle, and if you are selecting both the products, and then you are saying it's disabled, it will disable, but it will be checked because you checked before that. So that will be used forever, right? So what you need, you cannot disable that now. I mean, it will take action. If you selected US, it will be disabled. Whatever your last attempt was, that will be considered for the selection, but it will be disabled. For example, if I go back and I will say disable to hide, okay, there are multiple options. Add means it will add automatically, remove means automatically remove, enable means it will enable that, and then for example hide means it will hide a complete product from here. So let me go back to this screen again. If I selected mechanical bundle, right? So if I selected US, so totally this product should not be visible here even. It should be disabled obviously, but anyways it should not be visible. It should be totally hidden from your page. So I don't see that product now because we selected hidden action here. Similar to that, if you selected another enable and add, for example, so what it will do, enable and add, these are the combination. You can test this in your machine. Enable add means if I see apply rules here, it will not work actually. Cancel. If I selected mechanical bundle, so if I say US, automatically it will be enabled as well as it will be added. So if I selected US, right, it is automatically selected. So these combinations are there. If you check the type field on product action means which action you want to take, right? So these are the type of actions we have in the CPQ. You can use that. And the last two actions we are using for the filter rules that we will discuss as part of filter rules. Any questions on this? And one more thing before questions, actually, if I say required here, every time like this action will be required, otherwise it's not required. For example, enable and add. So you are saying enable and add, but you can uncheck that. It's not required, this enable and add action. But if we make required, every time it should be selected, then enable and add it should be action should be performed. Let's say another example. I don't want to give specific product name here. So I want to hide some products. For example, where is that? I want to hide some products. If I selected US based on some filters, for example, product family, equals to hardware, right? I can do that. Based on these filters, you can actually filter those products and those product will be disabled. It's not required, like for example, I have 10 product which should be disabled. Then in that case, you don't need to give 10 product. You cannot give 10 products here. In that case, you can use filter. And there is two more actual thing. We will discuss that: value object, value field, and value attribute. So there are some summary variables and other things. So we will discuss that in maybe today or tomorrow session. So this is the filter field you can use actually. Instead of giving product name, product family equals to hardware, those all products which are matching in this criteria will be hidden for the US country. Okay. Any questions, whatever we discussed?
Rahul, this is Newton. I
Yeah.
have a doubt. So, as you said, like for actions, right? So there's an
Mhm,
option. There's an action type: hide and remove.
mhm,
Correct. So, as in CPQ specialist, I'll be implementing this product rule, right? So
mhm,
let's say there's a requirement saying that we need to select action type as a hide and remove for this specific bundle, for this specific set of conditions. Um, for example, let's say if shipping country is US and the product is CAD basic package,
okay.
action should be hide and remove. Okay.
Mhm,
Now, this product rule has been implemented in CPQ. As in
mhm,
sales rep, when I log in CPQ and I'm trying to use it, so whenever I'll select US, that basic package, CAD basic package would be hidden and removed from the
mhm,
code, correct?
mhm,
Now, next time, if I want to, let's say, I'm presenting it to a customer and there's a change in the requirement and I want to give them option of CAD basic package included in the bundle. So I'll need to again add that product from the scratch and then create a, um, things from the scratch, or I'll need to request CPQ specialist to change the product rule. What should be the
yeah.
approach in that case?
Yeah. So you mean like you created code, but that code is not approved,
Yes.
and in meantime,
Yeah.
like your
Hmm.
requirement is changed. So in that case, you can play
I'm
with
in
your.
discussion with customer, and
Mhm.
let's say we are just discussing it's in process, right? And let's say customer is giving me few options and I'm presenting them with few options as in
Okay.
different combination of products in this bundle. Okay, so that way
Yeah.
is my question.
Anyways, like if it is, yeah, got it. Yeah. Anyways, if your code is not approved, anyways, you can do whatever you want, right? So the only thing is like your sales rep should communicate to your CPQ developer to change that product rule, whatever you are expecting. For example, as you mentioned, CAD product rule was already removed or hidden, and now you are saying I want that product to be displayed and sellable to the US country, right? In that case, first thing is like someone from CPQ development team do that change in system, then and then they can go to the product and they can add products, existing product they will remove actually, or they can delete everything and they can add the new products because it's not approved. So it's not approved, you can do anything. But as you mentioned, like if there is any change, obviously like CPQ developer should come in picture and they should implement that things.
So that means one way to do this is to delete everything and create code from the scratch. And another option would be to contact the CPQ specialist or let the CPQ specialist join that meeting with the customer and sales rep.
No, why CPQ specialist you mean? I mean
Because
like
as
if
you said,
there is any
product rule,
Mhm.
yeah, let's say there's a requirement to change the product rule. So, but it needs on the runtime. It because our requirement is changing very frequently then and there. So I want this rule to be changed on the fly, right? So sales rep
Okay,
wouldn't be able to
only
do
for
it.
few minutes or something you are saying? I mean,
Kind of.
only for that particular call, that customer. In that
Just
case,
to show
obviously,
them this is
okay. In that case, obviously, you need help from CPQ specialist. Even if you delete, it will not work. You need, first thing is like primary thing is like you need to change your product rule, right? And who is responsible to change product rule? It's on the CPQ specialist or CPQ developer, right? And
Hmm.
that's the only thing. who is developing changing that? It's CPQ developer or CPQ specialist in your language. So that change should happen only for that particular meeting as well. You need to change that, do that change, create code. I mean, already code is created, just delete and add those product and just show to the customer that this is how for US we are doing, this is how we are doing calculation on all these things. But my experience is like this should not happen. If you're doing, if you're writing some product rules, those product rules are for your company. It's not specific for your particular customer. For example, US, right? India. So your company is deciding like this product should be sellable in that country or not. There should not be some exceptional, like whatever you are defining for fiscal year 2020. In my company as well, for each year we are changing product rules. We are not changing frequently. We are changing for every year only. So this fiscal year we have these many product rules. Next fiscal year maybe those products are eligible to sell in India. Third fiscal year maybe some products are eligible to sell in Australia. So as per my experience, actually these product
It's
rules are
mostly
defined
yearly cycle.
on yearly basis, because this is something your company is deciding like what is our approach for next year, how we are selling and how we are providing these things. But as to answer your question, like if this is the requirement, obviously Salesforce CPQ specialist or someone who has knowledge of changing the product rules, they should change that product rule for that particular meeting and then do that. But when you are doing that in production, make sure like other sales reps is also using same product rule, because other sales rep is selling those product to the another customer. At that time they will be impacted because of your change, right?
Right.
So
So as you said, right, the product rule changes are implemented yearly, monthly, or quarterly, depends on the company's policy, right?
exactly.
So when we do it in production, it would be as per the policy. But just for the demo purpose, when we are giving a demo to the, let's say, to another customer, that we have an existing system and another new client is having similar requirement, we are trying to demonstrate the features we
Okay.
are having in CPQ in that scenario.
In
So
that scenario, yes, sandbox will be the best option. In sandboxes, like your sales rep can use sandboxes, right? So in my company as well, like we have three, no, three, not three, yes, three sandboxes actually. First one is like where actually all the development is happening, that is our own developer sandbox. Then we are moving that to the another QA sandbox where QA testing and everything is happening. Then we are moving from that QA sandbox to UAT sandbox. So that UAT sandbox, all sales rep have their access to test the functionality, new feature, whatever you are developing, right? Any change. So they are testing everything in UAT, and then we are pushing that UAT sandbox data to production. So if
so in
as per your
UAT
requirement,
sandbox,
Mhm.
yeah, please go.
Yeah, I mean like in UAT sandbox, your sales rep can play and do whatever they want. If they want any change, they can do. In production, it's not allowed. Production, you cannot change rules on fly. So it's not allowed because it will impact other sales rep as well, because you are actually selling those in production. Sandboxes, you can do anything, whatever you want.
Right, right. I think Rahul, thank you so much. I got the answer. As you said, the sales rep in the scenario I was giving probably can use UAT sandbox
Exactly.
because it's just for the demonstration purpose. Yeah.
Exactly. Production,
Thank you
it's
so
not
much.
allowed. SOX compliance and multiple things are there in company. They are not
Correct,
allowed.
correct.
Even I have product access, means as a CPQ developer, if you are technical lead or architect, you have
Mm.
access to production to change anything. But you cannot do that
But you'll
before
need
you are
approval.
taking that approval. Exactly.
Mm.
So this SOX and other rules, multiple things are there, So those
Mm.
allowed.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So this is the first change. I added those steps here. Let me revisit
Hi,
the selection rule.
Hi, Ragul. This is Khan.
Hey Kanchana, yes, go ahead.
I have a doubt. Like you mentioned that we can hide the products like which comes under a particular product family, right? Is there any option
Yes.
that we can hide the product which comes under particular features?
No, no, we don't have that option. You can hide the products only. The filter is only for on the product objects field. So what you need to do, you where I'm saying filter field, it's field. It's not like feature or anything. So you can create any field on product object, which will store some data based on your automation or anything, and that field data can be used to filter the particular product option. You cannot filter based on features. You need to filter based on your product data, whatever you are selecting, right? So as I mentioned, if I go to the ad products, if I selected mechanical bundle, we are playing on the product option. We are not playing on the feature. Feature is just for our purpose. Feature is not adding any value, right? So even bundle is adding some value, but feature, there is no scope. As I mentioned, bundle will be create separate code line, but feature will not be in picture. Once you leave this screen, that's it. Feature is just for this screen. Bundle are with you till your order creation, but feature is just for this configuration product screen, right? So as you mentioned, if I selected US, you can only filter the products. You cannot filter based on any product feature or anything. So whatever you are doing here, filter fields, this field is coming from your product object. So product code or product family or anything, right? That field you can create, store that results, and equals to whatever your filter value is there, you can compare with that.
Okay, Rahul,
Good.
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So mostly don't think feature as anything. You're not adding any logic based on feature. Feature we are using just to give good UI to sales rep, and they should sell those products in effective manner. They don't need to confuse. They have multiple things. You are just dividing. So just you are dividing your bundles into different feature, and then that feature you can use to sell the product. So it's just only the purpose of creating feature is to give good UI to your sales rep, and you can guide to your sales rep while selecting product. That's the use of feature. So nothing other than that. Okay, any more questions? I have to stop early today actually, but let me finish this selection rule. As I mentioned, try today itself, create your selection rule. Okay, and you can create error conditions with the configuration attribute, because that is the end output, right? We discussed in last week why we are creating configuration attribute. You can create your own configuration attribute, and that configuration attribute you can check in error condition. If it is true or anything, your selection rule allow you to hide, remove, add, complete all the action except last two, and then this assign rule to the configuration rule. I added a screenshot as well here. You can go with that. You can create this error condition with the configuration object tested field, and you can use the filter value here, right? So similarly, product action as well, I added a screenshot just for FYI. You can use that, right? And I will stop today early. I need to go out for some reason, but at least you should complete this selection rule, and tomorrow I will take more time to complete these lookup queries with product rules. So here again we need to use selection rule, but I will discuss on the, as I mentioned, like I have not discussed anything on the, we discuss all the fields from this object, but we have not discussed this lookup, right? So lookup thing we'll be completing that tomorrow, and then we can complete dynamic bundle, and then we can say at least bundle related things are completed, and then we can start with the next type of bundle, that is MDQ products. That is my plan. So tomorrow's session we'll complete these both the things. Dynamic bundle is also important concept, and this lookup queries that I am mentioning, lookup object, what is this things, how you are, because if you think on, let me give you one 2 second, like how, what I am trying to say. For example, this action, it's hiding simple product based on your condition. But if I selected India here, right, based on India, I want to remove some product, add some product. You need to create another product rule for India, because error conditions, you are checking US here, you cannot check it or India, otherwise all the actions will run, right? So this particular US, you are creating different actions. But if you selected India here, you need to create separate product rule to hide and remove all these things. But if I revert back, for example, if I selected US, this will be checked. But if I selected India, nothing is happening. So it should be reverted back, right? You're not on US now. So these things are there, multiple things are there. How you can achieve that? You need to create different actions and different product rules. No, you need to go ahead with the lookup query that we can discuss in tomorrow's session. Okay. Is there a limit on number of product rules we can have? There is no limit, but the Salesforce is recommending to have less. Don't add more than 100 or 200 product rules, because it will impact to your performance as well. There is no limit as such, as per my understanding or knowledge, but you should not add more product rules, otherwise it will degrade your performance. That's the reason I'm saying, if you create multiple products, don't do that. We have another solution. If you are creating 100 product rules, don't need to do that. We can create only one product rule, and all other things we can handle in the Excel that we can discuss tomorrow. So you'll understood, like you don't need to create on these things. So instead of creating 100 product rules, you can create one product rule, and you can fetch data from our Excel or any object. So that thing we can discuss tomorrow. That's the use of lookup query. So we can discuss that. I have tried global attributes and alert rule. I could see them in the Kotlin editor. If you have time today, I can screen my screen. Okay. Maybe Kanchana, can we discuss that tomorrow? Actually, have to go out. That's the reason I'm leaving a meeting early. I don't want to cancel because yesterday also I canceled meeting because of some personal reasons. So yes, thank you. So tomorrow we can discuss these two things and then we will get some time. You can ping me, just remind me tomorrow before start session. Just ping me like we need to have last 15 minutes to do the screen sharing, or anyone has any issue, we can discuss that in the meeting. So I can reserve last 15 minutes for our question answering session tomorrow. And before that, first 30 minutes I can use for the actual hour session. Okay. Okay, then let's connect tomorrow, same time, and just practice all these things. Otherwise, it will difficult for me as well. After 1 month, you will ask a different question. Practice those things. And tomorrow's last 50 minutes, I will reserve for Kanchana and everyone. If anyone has any questions, you can share your screen and we can take that points and we can resolve those things. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.